Hey guys, happy Wednesday. I was gonna go live and talk to you guys a little bit about thinking differently. Because right now, I don't know if anybody else is feeling this way, but I feel a little bit stuck in my business. Especially with sponsoring. That's just something like if I don't have a certain amount every month, like I feel a certain way, and I realized that typically how I sponsor is I do a lot of home parties or events and get a lot of that's how I meet people, is home party and events. That's how I meet people. So, I had my contacts right after coronavirus hit and we all got locked down, and that's fine. Like I worked those contacts. I was sponsoring and everything like that. And now I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, now what do I do? How do I do it? Because I have to do things differently in my business right now because everything is changing. So I was watching a couple shows. And it just dawned on me how you just need to change the way that you think about something. So one of the shows that I was watching was Survivor. I love Survivor. I don't know why. But this guy, all of them had to memorize a 7 symbol. It was like a plus sign. They had to do like a math sign, and they had the numbers, but they had to remember the symbols. And there were 7 of them. So this one guy, like, people were going back and forth. They were only remembering 2 or 3 symbols, and they were going back and forth, trying to like only remember 2 or 3 symbols and then go back, memorize the rest of the symbols and then go back. So this guy didn't do that. He stared at that thing the entire time while everybody was running back. He wanted to make sure that he got all 7 digits memorized. And I was like, what is he doing? He is falling so behind. I was like screaming at my phone. I was like, dude, you gotta hurry up. Like, remember a few numbers and just go. That's how I would have done it. Remember a few and just go. So he sat there, he memorized everything. He went back to his board, and he was the first one. He won immunity. If you guys know what Survivor is, you know what immunity is. That's awesome. So when the host asked him, like, how did you memorize all those symbols? He was like, it was so easy. So the average person can memorize 7-digit numbers. That's why we have phone numbers. So he took the symbols and turned them into numbers. Okay? So anytime he saw a plus sign, that was a 1. Anytime he saw a multiplication sign, that was a 2. So he used that and recreated it, and he turned it into a 7-digit number that he could remember. Awesome. So he changed the way he had to think about things to win what he needed to do and to win. Another thing I was doing, I went to a home party. It wasn't a home party. It was an outdoor party. I had an outdoor party the other day. And I do this thing called a points poem. Okay? If you don't know what it is, you can look it up on your workstation. It's a fun game to help you get bookings and to also give away some prizes at parties and things like that. But a lot of the times, and these aren't big numbers. They are not big numbers. Like 10 points, 8 points, 5 points. But a lot of time you have to wait for somebody to add up the numbers. And so I'm just sitting there, waiting for everybody to add up their numbers, and people are using their calculator, and this one woman is already done. And I was like, are you already done? And she's like, yeah. I said, oh, you must be really good at math. She's like, no, I just use tick marks. Y'all, she used tick marks. She is like the manager of she's high up there in the financial planning world. High up there. This girl using tick marks. And it's not because she's smart. It's because she's actually just working smarter. So for every 5 points she got, she would do 1, 2, 3, 4, cross it, 5, and do her tick marks. And she was able to complete her task that I gave her probably 5 times faster than everybody else. It's not because she was more intelligent than anybody else. It's because she worked smarter. Okay? Another one I was watching, it's on Netflix, I'll have to figure out the name of it for you guys, was this one girl tried to memorize this whole big bunch of numbers. And it was like a series of like, it was like 3, 6, 6, 4, 2. It was something that's like, I think she had like 5 minutes to memorize this super long number. It was over 100 numbers. So what she did, like, she read it back, and I was like, this girl is a genius. And she might have a higher IQ, but she just changed the way her brain worked. So she took the numbers in 3-digit numbers and made a story. When I heard it, I was like, what the actual? So she said, the first 3 numbers were, I think they were like 663. She was like, that means that the ghost was going to walk through a park. And it was not because it was easier for her to remember a story than it was to remember numbers. Okay? So I'm telling you guys this because literally you can change the way you think about something in your scentsy business. What are you doing? What are you doing? What haven't you done? Because literally I rely on home parties and events to get my contacts and to build those relationships, to have those sponsoring conversations. So now that my situation has changed, I have to change the way that I approach things and think about things. Is it going to be hard to change those things? Absolutely. Is it possible? Absolutely. So if you are stuck in your business, know that there is always another route. There is not one way to do this business. If there was, so many people wouldn't be successful in their own ways. They just wouldn't. Because with one way, that's it. And so many people work their business in different ways. And sometimes we get stuck in our own ways. And that's why we have a team page, and that's why we have Scentsy Sisters and Misters, and that's why we share, and that's why we encourage. Because guess what? One day you're going to be stuck too. In one part of your business or another, in PRV, in sponsoring, or leadership, and you're going to have to say, what am I doing? And then what have I not tried yet? And I really want to push this into you because this month has been a little bit different, and December is typically a little bit slower. But I want you guys to understand never to feel like to just give up because you feel stuck. Because if you give up, you'll never move past it. Felicia Rhodes, we did training, and she was talking about, is it a speed bump or is it a stop sign? Like, a lot of people take speed bumps and they're like, oh, this is too hard. And they stop. When really all you got to do is just take it a little slow, get over it, and keep going. So, change the way you think. Share things. If you're stuck with something, ask. Think about what you haven't done, or think about what other people are doing. Reach out to somebody if they're really good at sponsoring. Ask them, how are you doing this? If they have really high sales, how are you doing this? Share it with us. Come up with ideas yourself. Think about, like, what have I done and what haven't I tried? Because there's a lot of things that I haven't tried. I was talking with another group member the other night, and she was talking about Snapchat, and I was like, oh, I don't like Snapchat. I don't know how to use it. Well, guess what? That might be something that I need to learn how to use in my business. So it's just these little things. It's a mindset also. You have to have the right mindset. You have to keep adapting. You have to keep changing. You have to keep growing. You have to keep learning. So I just wanted to come on here, encourage you guys. If you guys are stuck, I feel stuck sometimes too. It's not always sunshine and rainbows over here. We all have our own struggles. And I just want to let you know that I am going to start being the person who, instead of sees symbols, sees numbers, and who, instead of like adds up things, uses tick marks. Like, let's think outside of the box. Let's think differently than everybody else, and let's share that with each other, and let's just watch each other grow. I love you guys, and I will talk to you later.